Eat that.
There we go. Cleared them all out.
Hub's just over that wall. Unless it magically lowers. No, we need a way around.
I don't get it. All the raids stopped at my mother's order. This is a lot of security.
What, you're not having fun? Okay, let's go through the maternity annex.
Do we have to?
What? What is it?
Just all the baby stuff.
You got an issue with babies?
No, I have an issue with being told I need to have one.
So I enjoy this conversation because it lends us to know what's really going
My
on.
mother did was raise me away from all this.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we do need to repopulate.
Oh yeah? Where do I sign up?
Ew.
You know, it's a thing, like, we almost got wiped out. We have to repopulate. So having the propaganda and having all these children around, yes, I'm like, and like, I know Mrs. Play would be highly against that. But at the same time, it's like, no, if we want to ensure our survival as a species, this is what's going to need to be done. It's not going to just be a easy in and out, you know, hey, we won the war. This is showing us a rebuilding period, which I do think is something that we need to see, because a lot of times when we look at, oh, this is the end, everybody won, the real fight begins after. Like, at the end of Resistance 3, it's still the people, like, when I did that playthrough, like, we went to jail. There were people who were still assholes and horrible people and taking advantage of a shitty situation. Look at, even if we just go back and say, look at The Walking Dead. The zombies weren't that big of a threat. It was us. We were our own biggest threat here. So it makes sense they might rely more on a dictatorship and they might use the propaganda like, we need to have kids, we need to repopulate, because, you know, we were pretty much all wiped out there. I don't know if you can actually shoot that to stop it. I probably should try or check to see if there's an achievement for it, but I'm not 100% sure. There we go, that'll take care of those guys. So here we also get to see the sheer amount. Like, as we get closer, the entirety of what they're able to do becomes more. There's more of them. They feel like they're fighting a little bit stronger. They're still taking cover, but they don't feel weak, and it feels like, okay, we can just throw these at you and keep throwing them at you. And I'm not sure exactly where the weak spot is. I aim for the head out of reflex, but it would honestly make sense if it was like, no, fire him 2-3 shots to the chest, because you're more than likely to hit a power core, or maybe that's where their central processor is, something like that, where you just do so much damage to their motor function. I realize the eyes would probably still be up top, but I'd almost wonder if they have some other sort of sentry device that they use.
Guys, we have a whole parade of DBs coming this way.
Nope, out. Tracker destroyed.
Now I'm going to switch over to the pistol because all I have is right now is that short-range weapon, and that's going to do absolutely jack nothing. But as you can see, the pistol, not necessarily that strong. Now, there is a revolver that you can get in the game as well that I really enjoy, and you'll probably see me get it. It's called the Boltok, and while I'm not good enough to say, like, oh yeah, let me use one of these because I'll be, like, awesome and just wrecking people, I do like a good pistol and a few, like, weapons that maybe don't have as much ammo, but all I do is put, like, 1 or 2 shots into them, and then they go down.
I got you.
Thank you.
DB down.
Knock out.
And like you see here, like, they are not afraid to just kind of, like, walk out in the middle of everything. And it does make them feel like, okay, these things are... They're not necessarily worried about you. They can just push through. And at the end of the day, they're going to beat you through attrition, and the fact that they don't feel fear and they don't get tired.
Oh, look at that. Cog deactivated our access codes.
Well, we are enemies of the state.
What? Come on.
So, there you go. Now you guys learn that you guys are enemies of the state. Like, they are...
Excuse me.
They were part of the COG, and they left. So this also leads itself to be like, hey, you guys are defectors. And that would explain why they would command DVs, as though it was like, okay, we don't have to sacrifice as many people if we get people who are really good to command the robots.
Oh, no, you're not. It's safer out here. Door's closing, you know. God damn it.
Let's get this heist underway.
Yep, our fabricator should be down in one of the storage bays.
Well, technically, it's their fabricator.
So, like I said, I like how this leads you to think, like, alright, so who are you? What is necessarily going on? And it gives you the background of, like, why you would know these things. And they just said that you were an enemy of the state. So we also know that things aren't going well, or that you left, or that something isn't quite as it seems here with the COG and with how people want to be seen and how people want to be governed and things like that.
Exactly this big, exactly this shape, exactly this layout.
All right, now we go to the storage base. Del, you get us there. Kate, come with me.
On it. Have fun down there, you two.
And also right there, you get to see them, or him go, like, everything here is built the same. These cities that are prefabricated, they are used and built in the exact same layout.
Figuring out these controls. Ah, there we go.
I love her design.
Hey, what's going on up there? We losing power?
Ah, working on it.
Hey, look!
That's a lot of DBs. Hey, let's keep things moving, all right?
Yeah, I'm trying. These controls are confusing as hell. Uh-oh.
Now what? Del, what the hell are you doing?
I'm sorry. The system locked me out. I cut the power to sneak back in.
Do you control this lift or not?
Yes! Kind of.
God, that's always great when, you know, it's like, are you actually doing anything? Maybe, we're not really always sure.
Alright, you're good. Go grab the fabricator.
Kate, just remind me to let you handle the controls next time, okay?
I heard that.
Now, one of the things I always liked is in the last game you saw me make all the jokes about it, where you constantly had to put your, or like they were constantly putting their fingers to their ears in order to communicate, and it looks like we have gotten past that, because that would just give you a slow point, which one would lead you to a loading screen, and then two, it was a good way for them to give you information and help you with your objectives.
Hey, help me carry this thing.
And it all started from this one little box. So it's like a super 3D printer, a military grade 3D printer.
All right, it's loaded. Del, get this thing moving.
You got it.
Can't wait to get this thing home and fix the power. Even though reading by candlelight was kind of nice.
That might be the dorkiest thing you say today, but probably not. Got it.
So I'm going to switch over to this, because like I said, I've actually just played through this game recently, so I do know what's coming. Now, the hammer burst was pretty much always used by the Locust. It was their... Oh, that's great! That was unintentional. I didn't even know I could do it that way. I didn't even know I could get away. That makes sense. Like, it's just a giant thing that locks you in. It's a giant clamp.
Del, get this thing moving.
You got it.
wait to get this thing home and fix the power. Even though reading by candlelight was kind of nice.
That might be the dorkiest thing you said.
By the way, guys, reading by candlelight hurts your eyes. It always sounds super, super, like, romantic. It is not.
This will come in handy. Whoa, Del! Del, they're locking down the lift.
Shit. Some kind of security override just kicked in.
Alright, so we are set to go.
I'm knocked out of the system again.
Well, hack your way back in.
Trackers rolling in!
Ah, don't let him get close.
Now, one of the things I can do is I can, like, close up all of these little doors so that way they don't have a way to get to me.
More trackers! More of them!
Now, I think this is supposed to be, because what they did was they redesigned the Horde mode in this game.
What's your status?
That was like, hey, defend this area, and the Horde will just continue to keep coming at you. And they give you the Fabricator, so it's like, oh, this is how you can build defenses, or this is how you can, like, this is how you, one, can build defenses, and then two, get better weapons, or get some ammo, and get things that, come back to you, so that way you're not always like, oh, let me run out here and scrounge around. It gives you more of a centralized location, and gives you points to make it a little bit easier, especially when you get up to those higher rounds. The game kind of has, like, a force mode with it, which, I don't mind it. It does just break up the shoot, move to cover type of gameplay. At the same time, if they did take it out, I wouldn't really mind either. It only happens, like, 2 or 3 times, but it can be a little frustrating.
Fix it.